Let's wave, and we are back.
Again,
All right.
for 3 points.
So our motherland, Ghana, my happy home. So we importing or we're about to import 300 Isuzu buses again for Metro Mass Transit. And the last time we checked, do we know what happened to the old Metro Mass Transit
They are still
buses?
sitting in dust.
No, I think they auctioned them actually, right? They
No,
got them
I
auctioned.
saw a video a couple of days ago. They are still sitting in dust over 100 or something buses.
Wait. I saw something here. Wait, let me see. I think. All right. So last time we checked, we had a lot of Metro Mass Transit buses in Ghana. But at the end of the day, we auctioned it for 2,500 Ghana cities. How much is that in USD?
A little over
200 and
200.
yeah, $200. I mean, it doesn't matter how bad the bus is. How can you sell a bus for $200? Right?
And who is
And then
and
we
who
finished.
is buying them?
Exactly. So if you go down, that's what it's saying, right? Usually there's what it's always controversial. Buses have been sold to scrap dealers for very, very low amounts, sparking accusations of corruption and loot during different political administrations. So it doesn't make sense how you look at them. So my first question is gonna go to Mr. S. Do you think these buses are really beyond repairs? Because
I
now we
don't
have to
think
go and buy new ones.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's a culture we've built in our
Mm-hmm.
body politics where every time a new government comes, they find a way to kind of replace the old one with a new
Mm-hmm.
one be, for various reasons. We all know sometimes some things has changed some things, you understand?
To
But
score political points, yeah.
yes, to score political points. And but my problem is why do we continue like keep going in circles?
Mm-hmm.
That's my question, because you see these
Mm-hmm.
buses over there. There's the Ayalolo one that I saw a
Mm-hmm.
video sitting somewhere dusty all over the place in their backyard. So I asked myself, we go in, order the buses, but we don't get proper maintenance.
Yeah, the spare parts and
Mhm.
We don't get spare parts.
Mhm.
We don't get proper mechanics to work on this thing. So who are those going into these deals or stamping these deals to
Mhm.
go through? Who are those people? And they need
Mhm.
answering. They need to
Mhm.
answer questions. You understand? I have other things I can add on, but I don't. I want to hear what Mr.
Yeah,
L
Mr.
has to
L,
say.
yeah. So we know what the culture is already, right? So you
Mhm.
use, you throw away, you buy new ones. So the question now
Yeah.
is 300 new buses, right? That
Yeah.
we get. Let's see.
Mhm.
Let's see what our deputy minister is doing in what you call it. I think it's Egypt, right? Is it Egypt?
Yes.
Yep. So here is our deputy minister of transportation in Egypt. We think trying to check, how the manufacturing is going.
Mhm.
300 Isuzu buses to be sent to Ghana for Metro Mass Transit.
Hmm.
I think there she is. All right, so you guys get the idea. So we're gonna stop it right there. So the question now is it really necessary that we always have to go outside the country in 2025 from all our KNUST, graduates and all these universities that we have? Do we still need to be buying buses at this stage after independence?
Yeah. Yeah. This is where I'm ready to fire because when I heard about it, it annoyed me greatly. I mean, we have. I mean, if you look at the factory where they are building, it's not like some ultra modern, super high tech factory. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just the frames they are putting together, weld things
Mm-hmm.
together, spray, put the engine, install the engine, and things like that. So I don't know why at this point we still cannot
Mm-hmm.
do things like this to the point that we'll go to a fellow African country. I can understand. Isuzu is, I think, is it a Japanese company or a Korean company?
Yeah,
Isuzu,
maybe.
Isuzu.
Yeah,
I think it's.
it's Korean. I think
I
it's
think
I think
Korean.
it's
Korea. Yeah.
yes,
Korean. Yeah.
yes. I agree. I understand that they have a deal with with Egypt. Fine, but can we get the same deal, a permanent deal where we manufacture buses locally to run our local transport system? Because if you have such a system, then you always need buses, and you can even also sell to the sub region, and that will also ensure that we have parts available. We have people who are trained to fix them, and like we said earlier, that's the problem we have. We don't have a complete, comprehensive plan for anything. These buses they are going to buy, I will bet you there is no plan for maintenance, there is no plan for workshops, there's no plan
Mhm.
for highway rescue, nothing. So the bus will blast a tire, they will leave it in the booth for years because you don't even have a tow truck to go and tow it to where it's supposed to be fixed. So I think we have come to a point where we should be able to manufacture these things. And
Mhm.
even if we cannot manufacture or assemble, let us make a comprehensive plan so that when we bring 300 buses, we know in 10 years we'll have 289 of those buses left. Maybe one
Yeah.
gets involved in an accident, fine, it's gone. But the rest should be able to be maintained. A bus should be able to run for 50 years. So, yeah, I mean, you're right in asking that question. And my answer is we should not be going somewhere else to get assembled, our buses assembled. We should be able to assemble them locally.
But back in the days when
Mhm.
where we the anti-day buses and those other buses,
Tata
right?
Bus, City
Tata bus
Express.
Mhm.
and they stayed on the road. Even I can even bet you some of them are still on the road today.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
So what happens to us? We have a bad maintenance culture where our politicians have also
Mhm.
seen an advantage and they've grabbed it.
Mhm.
So they will come and they will continue to order buses all the time. Yes, we have a shortage of buses in the system because when
Mhm.
it's rush hour, you see a lot of people standing there stranded, right?
Mhm.
I get that. But there was once a company called Cantata, or is it
Mhm.
is it the
Katanka.
Cantata.
right Cantanka, right?
Cantata be like an old
I've watched too
drama,
much
what do you call it,
Cantata.
drama troupe.
Anyway,
Yeah. Mhm.
I think, and this is where I
Mhm.
always go back, it's about leadership, foresight, believing in your own people, right? This man started, government could have invested. Okay, we know there's always a shortage in the system
Mhm.
when it comes to buses. So you can start creating, just invest in him to just create
Mhm.
our public buses for us. Other countries have done it.
Mhm.
They don't go ordering buses from other countries, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
They
it
invested
comes
in
back
their
to
own
you.
people. But why is it that for us we don't even think about how to maintain the car,
Mhm.
the buses? Bring it, breaks down, one breaks down, the other breaks down, the other one windscreen will be taken to go and fix it. No, it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. Nobody's
Yeah, but okay, okay.
Yeah,
This is why I put this up, right? Because
yeah.
my question is like, what went wrong? So
Mhm.
yes, I was asking like the internet or Chat GPT like,
Yeah.
can Ghana build buses? And it's, yes, Ghana can build buses. Historically, assembling them in the 1960s with local parts,
Mhm.
mostly imported engines, but the parts were local. And
Yeah.
currently receiving new electric and conventional buses while aiming for more local assembly and electric vehicle production as part of modernization efforts. The country has a past of local assembly, like the Tama plant in the 60s, and is investing in new fleet and green transport, signaling intent for greater local involvement in manufacturing. Now, it's under Nkrumah, right? Ghana is some vehicle
Yes.
assembly, like the Tama plant, where buses were
Mhm.
built with locally sourced bodies and imported engines carrying 51 passengers. Reports on Instagram posts. So the point is, why aren't we going back to that? Let's say we can, because we're talking about employment also as well. Because if you bring in just the engines, right, at
Mhm.
least people can build it, harness
Yeah.
all these skills and keep growing and amassing the experience for the future. Which who knows, they might start building the engines themselves.
Man,
Right?
You
exactly.
But
see,
once
Exactly
you
what I,
bought the full thing, the
yeah,
entire thing, then there's no
exactly what I
you
was
see,
going
room
to say,
for
that
anybody to learn anything.
exactly
you
what
see
I was
what?
going to say, that even the engine, you can bring the engine
Hmm.
in parts and assemble it locally,
Yes,
all in a
yes,
way
Hmm.
to create jobs, because we have mechanics who dismantle engines. They just need training on that specific engine.
Hmm.
You bring the engine in parts, they can assemble it in Ghana. What is difficult about building an engine? Any grade one mechanic can
and that is
assemble an engine. You
government
know,
taking the initiative to do that, but they are quick to run to another country and order all these buses, right?
but you
Hmm.
know what? You know why? Because that's where they get their personal money
Exactly,
from. They can inflate,
exactly.
because if it's done locally, I mean, you work a salary and all that, you can't steal from it. But if it's coming and imported, you're going to buy it, so you can inflate the price. And I think that's it. So because of that loophole, nobody is thinking about localizing anything.
Hmm.
There's no structure. There's no structure. You've mentioned it. If we have a
Yeah, yeah.
structure,
I mean
okay,
that goes without saying.
let's
Hmm.
even say, right, because of the demand, the higher demand for
Hmm.
buses,
Hmm.
you want to sort it out as quickly as possible. So the initial step or the initial structure is to bring these 300 buses,
Hmm.
and then you set up plans, and then the engineering side of it and whatever.
Yeah.
We've seen this, like it's like a movie. Like every single government that comes into power comes up with this idea that I'm going for buses, and like I've said again, they'll use one to repair the other one to repair. And I'm talking from, not that we are all Ghanaians. I went to STC, right, just a couple of months ago, and if we go to their yard, the new plan buses, they're sitting there. They've taken
Yeah,
one windscreen, one tire, one horn, one this from the, and they're, why?
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Why? The
yeah.
structure.
Why?
We
Nobody
are
knows.
sometimes, yes, we want our politicians. Somebody might think, oh, we are anti NDC or anti whatever. That is not the case. We want the buses in, but please have a structure. Don't leave the ones they brought some years ago, as in the Ayalolo one, with the one that
Yeah,
was painted. The
green.
picture you
Yeah,
showed, it was the Eli Kufuor one,
for one.
but
Yeah,
the other one, the green and something they painted. I saw a video. Again, it's just sitting there.
guys. You know what? You know what I want to add. I want to add that I think this Metro Mass thing that former President Kufuor introduced was a brilliant idea. But
Yes.
times
Hmm.
have changed. This was like almost 30 years, 20 something years ago. Times have changed. My brother always says that by now, State Transport Corporation, STC, should have even been running cargo trucks, domestic airlines.
Airline. Yes.
We were all born to meet STC. STC is still struggling to even go on the major city
Man,
routes.
I had a
So
meeting. I went there. I had a meeting. The
these
buses are
300
broken
buses they are
down.
bringing, I'm telling you, these 300 buses, even Greater Accra alone needs about 1,000 buses. Don't quote me on that. But I mean, if you look at just Medina to Accra, you need
Hey.
about 50 buses on that road in order to clear the transportation problem. So
Yes.
these 300 buses, it means they're just thinking about maybe some parts of and mind
Hmm.
you, these are not city buses. These are intercity, because metro transport doesn't work in the city. It connects
Hmm.
towns and regions, you
Yes.
know. So which means that even the problems in the city, they are not looking at solving it. They are looking at solving, but STC can take the intercity business. STC and VIP, they can take that aspect, and then you fill the cities with buses to transport people
Hmm.
within the city. Even that we are not looking at.
But there's another huge problem, and that is why when it is easy for those buses to break down, our roads are not good. You
That is
understand?
true. That is true. But I mean, we can't wait for all our roads to be constructed before we
No,
have a public
I get
transport
it, but
system.
but
Let
you
me
you
finish. But if we are introducing these buses with a comprehensive plan with
hmm hmm
maintenance and parts, roads wouldn't be a problem. Because if you break an axle or you break a suspension, you have
yes,
the part to replace it whilst
yes.
roads are being constructed or
Cons-
whatever. So that one is an excuse, but I don't think it should be in the
I
way
try to
of
make an
public
excuse for my
transport.
people.
It's
I
not
try.
valid, because we always find these reasons and we wait, and nothing ever gets done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
if you have repair centers, you have mechanics who are trained, you have the parts always in the system, roads shouldn't be an excuse, in my
you're
personal
actually
opinion.
asking too much.
It is not too
Okay,
much to ask.
my last thing is gonna be the whole idea also about like kind of putting this kind of stuff on social media. It's like, what's the point? Because I don't think if Canada is buying like aircraft carriers from like I don't know US or Uganda, the minister puts it online. Because we always do this. It almost looks like, oh look, we're trying to do something for the country,
We are
and it
better
actually
than the
becomes
other.
like it becomes like newsworthy. You're buying 300, and it's actually the deputy, transportation minister. It's not like like a company they outsourced it to. So it's almost like they don't really have like real serious stuff to do. You buying 300, but you actually buying. It's not like okay, you're kind of like what do you call it? It's what do you call that thing when they're outdooring like a plant or something? Guys, what do you call
Your
that?
drop
When they're
ball.
cutting the sword, yeah, they're cutting the sword, right?
Cut
When they're
the
cutting the
sword
sword for
cutting.
like yeah, when they're cutting the sword
Tobacco,
for a new plant or something.
tobacco, your line drop.
Yeah, yeah, but
Continue,
they see they
continue.
come back.
I can
Yeah, yeah,
hear
it'd be
you.
like you go make them fluid. So
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is that why the need to always put even this kind of stuff for coffee? It feels really petty. Do you know what I mean? It feels so petty.
Well, sometimes some of these things you don't understand. You don't even know where to start from. I mean,
Yeah, because I'm trying to
why
understand
why
what's
sh- why
the
should
point.
we
What's
be
the point?
taking pride in bringing 300 buses where there are about over 1,000 buses sitting there not repaired?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
my point is you have a lot of work to do as a transportation. Like you're saying, the roads
I
are
mean,
bad. We don't have a lot of good buses. And then you go and then you put in this on social media. It's like,
it,
okay, it's like, we're doing something great for the
well,
country.
kudos to them. They should come and tell us the structure that they have in place. That in the next 3 years we will not see these buses being left like the other ones.
Yeah, as long as in the plan for these buses, there is no way to keep them on the road, to keep them running, it's just going to fail like all the others. You just mark it on the wall. President
Yeah.
Akufo-Addo brought how many ambulances for every constituency?
It was
Some
used to
of them
carry
were
cassava.
involved in accidents. Some of them had broken parts. Last time I saw a video, some of them are
Mhm.
packed in the bush somewhere. Ambulances
Yes,
that were brought 2, 3 years ago, Mercedes-Benz ambulances, they are packed because they are not maintaining them. So how do we expect this to end up? The same.
So we go back to remember the video we did last time about Africans, so as being unable and incapable of handling like our own countries. Is that true or not? Because it looks like the very basic stuff, just maintenance, we cannot do it. And we're talking about innovation and inventions.
that's why I said to some
Yeah.
extent it's true. But I want to ask you guys a question. When the video came out, a lot of people were saying that instead of, because there's huge traffic in Accra, right? But people are saying that okay, up to date, you guys keep ordering buses and whatever. But there are others, or there can be other solutions, like railway.
I say make it conclude.
Yeah, yeah. So guys, I don't know. I don't think honestly, judging from what we have experienced in the past, I don't think these
Mhm.
300 buses are going to make any difference whatsoever. At best, they will make a difference for the first 1, 2, 3 years, and that's it. If we, like I said before, if the plan doesn't include maintenance, parts,
Mhm.
highway assistance, and all those things that are needed in a transport business, forget it. It's not going to end up anywhere. Former President Mahama brought those Ayalolo buses. I think it was almost in the same range, some hundreds of buses. What has happened to them? The one that I see is active is the one that's being shuttling people from Terminal 2 to Terminal 3 at Kotoka. That's it. I
Mhm.
don't, when I go to Ghana, I don't see any Ayololo buses on the road. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they are supposed to be on the road. They are supposed to be solving problems. I don't see them. Just before MPP left power, Dr. Baumia brought some electric buses. I don't hear anything about them. So my conclusion is I don't believe that is going to solve the problem permanently. It's going to be a temporary thing, which if it's going to be temporary, I don't think there's any point to it.
This is
Yeah.
point for me. Until we learn to have a proper structure, you continue to go in circles like that till the Messiah comes. if he will come to our part of the world. Dankoi. I'm done.
Yep, that'd be all.
Mm.
Mhm,
At the
mhm,
end,
mhm.